We're very concerned that you have China, our number one adversary, or the government of China, or others like Iran or Russia or North Korea, controlling information into the United States of America and pushing false information out, especially to young people when, if you're under 30, this is the number one place you get your news from.
On January 19th, 2025, TikTok could be banned in the United States if the app's parent company, ByteDance, doesn't sell it to a non-Chinese company, an event that would send shockwaves through millions of users, businesses, and influencers. The question on everyone's mind is, how did we get here?
Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the
So if I have a TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
In recent years, TikTok has become an undeniable force in social media, captivating over 170 million American users. 63% of US teens use it, and about a third of US adults under 30 now regularly get news on TikTok. Yet, the looming possibility of a ban has left many wondering if this social media giant's time in the US has finally come to an end. If it's going to happen, then TikTok's US-based users could have only a few more weeks to enjoy scrolling through their For You page before the app is banned in the country. This video will dive into the heart of the matter, explaining why the US government wants to shut down TikTok, the powerful forces behind this decision, and what it means for the future of digital communication. TikTok has come a long way since its launch in September 2016, quickly becoming the app of choice for anyone wanting to share quick, creative videos. By 2024, it boasts over 1.5 billion active users worldwide, with close to 200 million of them in the US alone. The app's influence is undeniable, and its impact on American culture is huge. Users spend an average of 53 minutes per day on TikTok, and nearly half of all US teens report spending more than 3 hours on it daily. But behind its popularity, there's been a growing concern, especially within the US government. TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, is based in China, which raises serious national security questions. Lawmakers and intelligence agencies worry that TikTok could be used to collect vast amounts of personal data on American users, which could potentially be accessed by the Chinese government. As a result, there's been mounting pressure for the US to take action against the app. In 2020, President Trump attempted to ban TikTok, citing these national security risks, but his efforts were blocked by courts. Fast forward to 2024, and the pressure has only intensified. The US government has ramped up its efforts, with Congress considering a range of bills that could force ByteDance to sell TikTok's US operations or face a full-blown ban. While 61% of people want TikTok banned, 39%, mostly teens, oppose it. The concerns over data privacy are not new. In fact, in 2023, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, fined TikTok $5.7 million for illegally collecting data from children under 13 years old. While the company has made efforts to address these issues, the fear that personal data could be used for political influence remains a powerful motivator for lawmakers. The US Congress has been debating several bills to address TikTok's potential threat to national security. One of the most significant bills, the Restrict Act, was introduced in 2023 and grants the government the authority to ban apps like TikTok if they are deemed a national security risk. This bill passed through the Senate with bipartisan support, signaling the seriousness of the government's stance on TikTok. The Restrict Act is part of a broader trend where concerns about Chinese influence in American tech have led to new legislation across the political spectrum. In fact, the bill passed with 68 votes in favor and only 30 against, a strong indication of its support within the US government. Meanwhile, TikTok is fighting back. In late 2024, the company filed a lawsuit against the US government, claiming that the proposed ban violates the First Amendment, which protects free speech. TikTok argues that it's a platform for creativity expression, and business, with millions of small American businesses relying on it to reach new customers. In fact, TechCrunch reported that TikTok generated $14.7 billion in sales for US small businesses in 2023. The company aims to grow its TikTok Shop US business tenfold to $17.5 billion in 2024 and has also promised to protect American user data by storing it in US-based servers. But skepticism remains. At the same time, the US Supreme Court has decided to take up the case, with oral arguments scheduled for January 10, 2025. The outcome of this case could decide whether TikTok is allowed to continue operating in the US or if it will be forced off the platform for good. Experts say this could be one of the most significant tech-related cases the Supreme Court has faced in years, with potential implications not just for TikTok, but for the future of digital communication and freedom of speech in the US. If the US government succeeds in banning TikTok, it would have far-reaching consequences. First, there would be immediate fallout for TikTok's millions of American users. Many would lose access to a platform that has become integral to their daily lives. Influencers, content creators, and businesses that rely on TikTok for their income would face a serious disruption. 22% of brands spend between $10,000 and $50,000 on influencer marketing, and influencers get the highest engagement on TikTok and making it a critical platform for marketing campaigns. A ban would force companies to scramble to find alternative platforms to reach their audiences. For ByteDance, the financial impact would be severe. In 2023, TikTok was estimated to generate over $15.2 billion in ad revenue, with a significant portion coming from the US market. Banning TikTok would not only hurt ByteDance financially, but it could also set a dangerous precedent for other foreign-owned platforms like Facebook and Instagram, raising questions about the future of cross-border tech companies in the US. The ban could also have global repercussions. If the US goes through with a TikTok ban, it could inspire other countries to follow suit. In 2021, India already took action, banning TikTok along with 58 other Chinese apps, citing national security concerns. While the US ban would not be as sweeping, it could create a domino effect that leads to more countries taking similar measures. On the flip side, the potential sale of TikTok's US operations to a non-Chinese company might be a possible compromise. Some tech experts argue that if ByteDance sells TikTok to an American tech giant like Microsoft or Oracle, it could alleviate security concerns while keeping the platform alive in the US. However, this option is far from certain, with both ByteDance and the US government likely facing tough negotiations. As we move into 2025 and beyond, the pressure to ban TikTok has not just been driven by national security concerns, but also by political agendas. The US government's increasing scrutiny of TikTok is part of a larger strategy to manage China's growing influence in the digital world. The issue has sparked heated debates on Capitol Hill, with both Democrats and Republicans showing support for strong actions against the app. The debate is not just about national security, it's also about the future of American tech dominance and data sovereignty. The fear is that China could use TikTok as a tool for geopolitical power, influencing public opinion in the US and potentially undermining democracy. In recent years, China has been accused of manipulating information on platforms like TikTok to promote political agendas, even if that influence was not as direct as many fear. For example, in 2019, there were accusations that TikTok was censoring content related to the Hong Kong protests and promoting pro-China narratives. These allegations further fueled concerns among lawmakers who see TikTok as a potential threat to US values and freedoms. In fact, in 2024, a bipartisan group of senators, including influential figures like Senator Marco Rubio and Senator Chuck Schumer, have pushed for stronger regulations targeting Chinese-owned platforms, calling TikTok a national security threat. According to Senator Rubio, allowing TikTok to operate in the US is essentially giving the Chinese government a backdoor into American society. On the other hand, some lawmakers argue that banning TikTok is an overreach and could violate First Amendment rights. They warn that the government might be setting a dangerous precedent by targeting a single company for political reasons. This debate is far from one-sided, with tech advocates and civil rights groups warning against the dangers of government overreach, especially in an era where digital platforms are crucial for free expression and business. TikTok's influence on American businesses, especially small ones, cannot be overstated. The platform is a major driver of e-commerce sales, with a Business Insider report from 2023 estimating that TikTok's ad revenue in the US was $11.6 billion. A ban would likely push businesses toward other advertising solutions, but it could also reduce the overall spending in the digital advertising space, at least in the short term. In addition to this, a ban would likely have a ripple effect on the tech industry. TikTok's rapid growth has forced other platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, to evolve. Features like Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts were developed in direct competition with TikTok, signaling just how influential the app has been in shaping the digital landscape. If TikTok were banned, it could accelerate the dominance of other social media giants, potentially consolidating the power of US-based tech companies even further. As we near the pivotal decision in January 2025, the pressure to ban TikTok in the US shows no signs of letting up. The national security concerns, political agendas, and business interests are all part of a complex web that makes the future of TikTok uncertain. For TikTok users, creators, and businesses, this is a critical time. While some hope the app can continue operating freely, others are preparing for the worst. The outcome of this battle will not only determine TikTok's fate, but also the future of digital platforms, the protection of user data, and the role of international politics in shaping the digital world.